Michigan United. We talked about the responsible banking ordinance, which everybody in this church has signed on to, right? Some of you a couple times. Everybody has supported it here. And the ordinance is for three things. Make the banks take responsibility for all the blight they've caused and pay fines for the homes that are blighted. Make the banks put up a $10,000 foreclosure bond for the house before they kick people out, so that when they kick them out, if they don't take care of the home, the money goes to the city. And three, to make the banks live up to standards just to do business with the city of Detroit. And you talked to me about that, and I heard you saying you supported that first element, and you told me you supported the other two when we talked last.
I still
now, and also the other mayoral candidates, I've talked to all of them, and I've gotten their signatures on here too. So I want to know today, before you leave, if I can get you to sign on as a supporter for the RBO.
Glad to sign it, but let me put one other twist. That is, everybody can say what they're going to do. I'm a great believer in this election, you ought to look at what have we done. And so when I was the prosecutor, I didn't think it was enough to just lock people up after they committed crimes, even though we did get the violence down. But here's what I did. The abandoned houses have been choking the life out of this city for 40 years. And here's the problem. You'll have a nice, stable block, people will live there for 20 years. Two of the houses will go abandoned. Could be a foreclosure, could be somebody died. But when those first two houses go abandoned, everybody's property values on the block immediately goes down. And under the state tax law, the treasurer can't take that vacant house for 3 years for back taxes. Well, what happens to an abandoned house in this city in 3 years, right? Okay, they strip the pipes out of the inside, they pull the aluminum siding off it. So everybody said, the problem can't be solved. Here's what I did when I was a prosecutor. I filed lawsuits against the owners of the abandoned houses when they first became abandoned on a nuisance theory that said if you own property, you have to maintain it in a way that's not a nuisance to your neighbor. Except I would sue on the entire block at once, every abandoned house. And I'd say, you got three choices to the owner. You could fix it up yourself and get it occupied in 6 months, which is great. You can knock it down and keep the vacant lot. Or you can give it to us and we'll sell it on the internet like eBay. I went through the blocks just like this. We'd have 3 vacant houses on a block. I'd sue on all 3 houses the same day. I'd take title to all 3 the same day. One of them would be burned out and we'd knock it down. But there's a lot of structures in this city that can still be saved. Okay? And so I'd come out to your neighborhood with a pickup truck with punch and coffee and cookies. And I'd say to all the neighbors, these 2 houses are for sale on the website on Wednesday. Call your friends and family members. I come to the church, and the church would announce to their congregation, you can move into the neighborhood. Here's the auction on Wednesday. I was selling houses for $5,000 and $10,000 that people had walked away from. And we filled in the neighborhoods. And I could take you down those streets 6 months later. And you know what happened when you filled in the abandoned houses? At the other houses, people planted flowers. They painted their homes. People don't want to leave their neighborhoods. They want to know somebody's on their side to take it back. And that's going to bring me, Pastor, to your question. Because when I did it, the banks came in. Because I would sue the banks. And the banks would say, why are you suing us? We foreclosed. I said, the person living next to that abandoned house doesn't care whether it's owned by the bank or somebody's uncle died and left it to him. Doesn't matter to you why it's abandoned. It's still a danger to the neighborhood. And I'm going to treat the banks the same as everybody else. And I sued the banks along with all the other property owners, and I put them in the same situation. And here's the interesting twist. When the banks realized that when they foreclosed on somebody and pushed them out, I was just going to seize the house, you know what they started to do? They started to negotiate with the homeowners to keep them in the property. That's the kind of leadership we need in this city. So I will absolutely sign your petition. The difference between the other people in this race who are good people and me is more than 500 times I've already taken abandoned houses and gotten them fixed up, and we'll go right back to it when I'm elected mayor.